Yes, hello. And so due to austerity measures, there was only one Eurostar ticket going in the UK, so George Osborne kindly asked me to volunteer and pay for it myself. Right, I'm really happy to talk to you again. Right, welcome to Great Britain. Now, there are challenges around the built environment. Number one is we've got inefficient homes. And these are relatively easy to deal with. You insulate, change windows and make it airtight. And then you've got an efficient home. And unfortunately, efficient home, the way it's been approached, creates its own challenges, and generally they're around air quality. And if you look on the right-hand side of the slide, you could see some of these air quality issues manifesting themselves as damp, condensation, dust mite, volatile organic compounds, formaldehydes, and all sorts of other poisons that we need to actively purge from our homes in order to survive. So it's a challenge, but where there is a challenge, there's an opportunity. And just to frame that opportunity, we're talking about new build market worth something between 1 and 2 million homes built per annum in the whole of the EU, and we're also talking about retrofit market kick-starting in the UK next year and then being probably rolled over into EU in order to comply with the carbon reduction objectives. So we're talking about significant numbers of properties. So, yeah, there are some solutions out there that try to address that. You can have your windows open all of the time. Apart from the obvious security issues, they're not very energy efficient. I mean, the hot air goes out and you have to heat up the air again. There is a mechanised version of an open window, which is called an extract fan, where you're taking it to the next level, you're actually paying electricity and money in order to get rid of the heat and air from the house so you can then heat up the air again. At some stage people thought, well, we could try to extract that heat from the outgoing air, and then the mechanical heat recover ventilation unit was born. It does recover some of the heat from the outgoing air, which is quite a clever thing. Unfortunately, it still uses quite a lot of electricity in order to do so. And then, if we complete that evolution, there is Ventive, which actually doesn't use any energy or electricity, and it recovers the heat from the outgoing air. So it's the smartest thing out there. Just to give you a brief explanation of what it is, Ventive is a ventilation system for homes. It's very easy to install. It requires no power. It doesn't require any plumbing. It has no moving parts. It's maintenance free, and it has no visual impact. On top of that, it recovers over 90% of the heat energy from the outgoing air, preheating the incoming air, so actually get fresh air at near room temperature. If you look at retrofitting and what you've got, the pictures you've got at the moment, these are not proof of concept devices. This is actually a manufactured kit that we're running onto the market this month. Return on investment is approximately 5 years for the homeowner or the user. Now, how do we intend to make money? Because that's the main thing that people will ask. Well, Ventive will sell business to business. We're targeting local authorities, social landlords and construction sector. At current unit prices, we're actually making 50% gross profit. And if we roll out into production of thousands and drop the price, we can still make 70% of profits in quite a large market. And then obviously we've got a product pipeline, we've got commercial systems being developed, we've got a full house system which will be specific for a new build industry, and we've got a hot climate system which at the moment has received grant in funding in Cyprus for a demonstrator project. So there is a full pipeline of products coming to market. Traction. We have done trials and demonstrators. Last week we managed to get our first order for £92,000. It's over €100,000 on single sale. And as expected, it went to Southend-on-Sea local authority, which owns 60,000 homes. So if we do a decent job on the 23 first homes we're going to do for them, there is a potential for repeat sale in quite a nice volume. We're being supported by a number of home assessors that will be recommending Ventive to Green Deal providers, and we're also in talks with energy companies which will be obliged from next year to invest £1.3 billion a year into energy efficiency upgrades of existing homes. So we do seem to have a nice project pipeline in front of us. On front of competition, well, we can divide them into a mechanical brigade and a passive brigade. When you look at mechanical systems, they have the usual shortcomings of being difficult to install and quite disruptive because you need to run the duct into every room and it's quite a big piece of kit. They come with high capital costs, up to €10,000 per home to install. You've got then running cost, maintenance costs. They're not really practical, and in the end, when you calculate the electricity against the heat energy saved, in most countries you get very little CO2 savings. When you look at the passive front, generally speaking, we've got 3 companies that operate in the sector in the UK and across Europe. They do not offer a heat recovery. Effectively, we've got a commercialised hole-in-the-roof type device which draws heat through or hot air through the house, or the commercial sector. And there isn't a domestic product that actually neatly fits into retrofit scenario out there. So we're quite blessed with our current market position. Secret weapon, right. Well, there's a very strong team. We've got a number of patents and registered designs granted. We intend to have a full pipeline all the time of new products coming to market. We intend to introduce an upgrade every 12 to 18 months because, technically speaking, they have all the patents you want and still be copied, and people can go around it, or people can just blatantly ask you to sue them. So if we've got a new product every 12 to 18 months, we keep ahead of the game. And that's the main approach, and I think that's the secret weapon. And with Imperial College London and a number of very high key partners, we believe we can actually deliver that. We are seeking £900,000, which is about 1.1 million euros. We intend to spend that on expanding the team, upscaling manufacturing so we can actually produce things cheaper in higher volume, producing an IP firewall regardless of what I just said about the IP, obtaining certification both in the UK and in Europe, and some on working capital. This is a very acquisitive industry. We've got a number of potential exits already identified. That could go either to companies like Saint-Gobain that buy up a lot of suppliers, or we could go into a supplier chain or anywhere else. So we've got a number of exit routes, and we believe that with 160 million homes to be retrofitted across Europe, 1 million homes being built a year, with commercial sector worth over €2 billion a year, we've got a very good proposition. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.